All right, so this morning we are going to walk through the marketing profile of Command and then also setting up your agent branding. And then we'll also go through some of the reports and tasks applets as well. So as I'm going through this, interrupt me with any questions that you have. Since it's just you and I, we can keep this pretty conversational. We can kind of, whatever it is that you are curious about, we can walk through this morning and then, let me know how I can help.
Okay.
So the marketing profile is going to be kind of, how do I put this? Just a place where you put all the information about you and your business that Command will then use across all the different applets. And that's what we'll kind of use as templates for, any logos or titles or in contact information. It all comes from your marketing profile. So across your consumer app, your website, any landing pages, any emails that you send, will all use information from the marketing profile, which is why it's so important that it is set up. To start your marketing profile, up in the top right-hand corner where you see your name, click on that and then scroll down to settings. And then on the left-hand side, we'll click on Connect Settings and Marketing Profile. So here's where we're going to go through and input all the information. We'll just kind of start at the top and work our way down. So it's pretty simple and it's pretty self-explanatory. But one thing I want to point out really quickly before we do anything is there's this toggle over here that says use my information to brand my agent site. Make sure you turn that toggle on so you see green. This is what's going to give Command permission to use the information that you've put here in your marketing profile across your website, your consumer apps, and any other applet in Command. If this applet or if this toggle is not turned on, your agent website won't load properly and your mobile app won't be branded to you.
Okay.
So make sure this is on. Up here in the top right-hand corner, we have a marketing profile Kelly guide. Anytime you see a Kelly guide in Command, it basically is just a step-by-step hand-holding process of filling in the information for that section. To me, the marketing profile is pretty straightforward. I don't think we need a Kelly guide, but if you ever want to come back and go through that, you can just click marketing profile Kelly guide, and the system will walk you through step-by-step all the pieces of information that you'll need. But this morning, we'll just kind of start at the top and we'll work our way down. So the first two items here we have are my photo and team logo. This is going to be your headshot, any photo you want to use. You'll notice here that it recommends a size of 360 by 360, so square image. And that's because this image, that your headshot is going to load in these circles. So by having a 360 by 360 square image, it'll make sure that your photo loads properly anywhere across an email or website or app. If you can upload other sizes, but it may cause it to stretch and look a little distorted. If you need help resizing to 360 by 360, I can show you at the end of this meeting as well.
Okay.
And then we'll do the same thing for our team logo. So if you have, if you're on a team or if you have a personal team logo or branding, you can upload that here. Again, it's going to be that 360 by 360 image. If you don't have a team logo, you could always use the Keller Williams First Atlanta logo, or you could leave it blank. But I would recommend putting at least the First Atlanta logo in there, or just a standard KW logo as well, just because there will be places throughout Command that will pull in this information and it will just show as blank if you don't have anything there. Scrolling down, we'll just input all the information from my details. So pretty basic, first name, last name, your license number, your team if you have one, your job title, designations, and credentials. It's really important that all this information is filled out because this is going to be the information that pulls up on your website to make sure that you are GREC compliant. So to make sure that anytime you have your name, you have the office name, anytime you have your phone number, we have the office number. So that's the website's going to pull in all that information from here. So just fill it in, and you can always come back and edit this at any time. So if for whatever reason you get some additional designations or credentials, you become a specialized buyer's agent or a listing agent, you can add those here as well. Here in this box for bio, if you have a bio, go ahead and put something in here. This will be the bio used when you are found via an agent search on kw.com or through your market center site. So if anyone's ever searching for you, this is the information that'll pop up here. You can put in a long bio if you want. I will say if you can keep this bio to less than 280 characters, that would be ideal, because some of the applets that are used, or sorry, the widgets that are used to create landing pages and websites have a character limit of 280 for the bio, which doesn't make any sense to me. But you can keep it short and simple, and then you can always have a longer bio that you can copy paste in elsewhere as needed. So scrolling down, just put in our contact information, all pretty straightforward. Fax number, I'm just going to add in the office fax number. But yeah, you want to have that information in there just to make sure that you're GREC compliant. More than likely, you will probably be fine, but you never know. There's always that one agent that may come to your website and then want to get you in trouble. Over on the left-hand side, we have our Market Center brokerage logo. This is where you can upload the KW First Atlanta logo. If you do not have this logo or any of the First Atlanta logos, you can find them through command, but Scott Hardy has already uploaded all of those to rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com. So if you go to rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com, did I spell that incorrectly? I did. All right. So rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com, and then up in the top right-hand corner, if you click on downloads and then Market Center logos, he's already uploaded a full zip file with all the very different variations of the First Atlanta logo. So you have on the full color one, you have a white scale, gray scale, you have .jpeg files, .png files, .esp files, or EPS, I don't know, whichever one it is. And you can use those across all of your marketing and branding, so you have all the compliant logos there. So check that out on rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com. And then again, over here on the right-hand side, just filling in the information for the Market Center. A lot of this will be filled in just based on your profile with Keller Williams First Atlanta, but just double check and make sure that all of it is correct. You'll notice that some of the items have red asterisks next to them. That's the required information. So at the bare minimum, you need to have that included. But you'll notice here that most of this information will have probably already loaded. And the nice thing down here is to have the brokerage license number. So if you have that, if you don't have it, it's H-33313. And again, having that information on your website is just going to be one more piece of information that will protect you to ensure that you're GREC compliant. The more information that you're able to provide about yourself and the brokerage on a website to a consumer is going to be beneficial to you. Scrolling down for compliance, in the state of Georgia, we don't have a requirement for any type of compliance, but what I like to do is I just put Nicholas Core, Realtor with Keller Williams First Atlanta. It's just another way that I can put my name there and the office name there, because I need to have that one-to-one ratio of my name to office name. You could also add text that's each office is independently owned and operated if you wanted to, but you're not required to have anything there. But it is nice just to have that, just to be safe. Below that, we have legal footer links. In the state of Georgia, we're not required to have this, but in some states, they're required to link to additional information about real estate, whether it be fair housing or lender regulations. You can add those links. Since we don't need them, you don't have to, but if there are websites that you want to link to throughout your website, you can have those here. And the same thing with legal footer images. Here you can upload the realtor logo, fair housing logo, any designation logo that you have. You can have that there, and it'll show up on the bottom of your website. Continuing down, we have our social links. And here you can add in links to all of your social media channels. This is going to be really helpful because as you go through and you build your websites or your any landing pages, all of these URLs will be automatically loaded in there for you. So every single time you build a page, you don't have to go back and copy paste your Facebook URL or your Instagram or whatever. And they're all right there, ready to go. I'm not a big Twitter user, so I don't have my Twitter there, and I don't have a YouTube channel for my business. So those are blank. But they don't show up on the website either. So if you don't use any channel, you don't have to worry about that logo showing up. Next here, we have our Facebook Pixel Ads ID and Google Analytics IDs. This is going to be kind of like an advertising 2.0 or 3.0, that if you do a lot of Facebook advertising, you can track users that have clicked on your ad and track where they are across the web if you ever want to do any type of retargeting to them. Same thing with Google Analytics. You can then track people that click on your Google ads and see where they are across the web. It's pretty high level. If you plan on doing a ton of advertising, this may be a benefit to you, but I would recommend let's have a deeper conversation about that to see if there's something you'd really benefit from, because that advertising isn't a business investment. And then the last item we have down here is your branded KW app link. So if this should pre-populate, but if it doesn't, I can show you where to find your app URL. But you'll want to include this, and that way anytime you're building a landing page or anything, people have the ability to download your app that'll be branded to you. And then once you're done filling in all this information, click Save. It'll let us know that our marketing profile is successfully saved and we're good to go. So I'm gonna click that X. And again, always want to double check to make sure that use my information to brand my agent site, that toggle is turned on to green. Any questions about the marketing profile?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's just really important that you have all that information in there since it will be used throughout Command. So the next thing I'm going to walk you through really quickly is agent branding. So kind of in the same vein of filling in this information for your marketing profile up front, if you go ahead and you set up your agent branding in Designs, anytime you go to make a new just listed flyer or open house flyer, it'll already have all of your branding information in there. So I'm going to click over here to the Designs applet. So it's the icon on the left-hand side of a square with a paintbrush. So I'll click on that. And then I'm just going to come down to the bottom right-hand corner and I'm going to click on the plus sign. And then I'm just going to select social for design. It doesn't really matter. I'm not actually going to make anything today, but I just need to get into the design editor. So I'll click next. So this will take me into the designs editor where it has all the different options. And then up here in the top left-hand corner, you can see we have different tabs of templates. So these are all the templates that are available to us. My designs, so any designs or any creations that I've made before, and then brand assets. And what we want to walk through this morning is brand assets. So I'm going to click on that. Then over here on the left-hand side, we have a handful of different options that we're going to go through. So the first option is color palettes and fonts. So if you have a specific color palette that's going to be unique to your business or your team, you can go through and you can load in that color palette. All you have to do is on the right-hand side, click New Color Palette. And then it gives you the ability to add different colors. Now you can scroll through here and you can try to find the right color, or you can put in the RGB number, or if you click on this down arrow right here in the bottom right-hand corner, that'll take it to the HSL and then the hex number. And more than likely, if you have any branded colors, it'll have a hex number that you can easily add here. And then you can just type that in. So I'm just going to type B40101. And that is Keller Williams Red, and click enter. And that's how easy it is to add a color. So you can go through, add all the colors that you're going to use throughout your branding. So then that way, when you're going through and creating a flyer, you don't have to search for that color. It'll automatically pop up for you. Same thing with fonts. If you have a font that you want to use consistently throughout your branding, you can load that font here. You can upload it if you have it on your computer, or you can come over here and click Web Fonts. and then you can search the web for your font. So here's a bunch of different options that are already loaded into Command, and you can just select which one you want to add into your brand assets. And again, the benefit of having this information, the colors and the fonts and all this other information, is that regardless of who creates a piece of marketing for your business, whether it's you, whether it's a third-party marketing company, anywhere else, all of it will look consistent, so consumers won't know the difference of anything that you created versus a paid company. The next item, scrolling down, are logos. So here you can upload the Keller Williams First Atlanta logos as well as your own personal logos. And this way, when you are in Command and you need to upload the logos on any of those flyers, you can do a quick replace and it will automatically load in that logo perfectly sized for that asset. You'll notice here I have two different First Atlanta logos. I have the red and gray one, and then I have the red and white one. The reason I have both of those uploaded is because on some flyers or pieces of marketing, the white logo is going to pop better than the gray one based on what the colors of the image are. So I recommend having both of them. You can upload numerous logos, so go ahead and have at it. And then that way you just have a bunch of different options to select from, whichever one will look the best for your flyer. If you want to upload them, just come up here to the top right-hand corner and click upload, and you'll be able to upload those files. One thing I want to add about that, when you are uploading logos here, I would recommend you upload .png files. Those files are going to have the transparent backgrounds, so in that way when you add the logo to a piece of marketing, it isn't going to have the white rectangle behind it. It just makes it look a little bit cleaner and more professional in my opinion. So I always recommend uploading the .png file. On the left-hand side, we're going to click down to Smart Text.
Hey, Nick, I had a problem with using the transparent PNG for an email signature in Gmail. For some reason, it turns it black. Have you seen that?
I have seen that before, but if you upload it here in the branded assets in Command, you're fine.
Okay.
But I have seen that before. When you upload it, it turns it black for some reason. So in that case, using the JPEG file would be benefits, and that way you just have the white background. But for an email, it should be fine because most email backgrounds are going to be white. So for Smart Text, this is going to be pieces of information that you're going to use consistently throughout your marketing. So think contact information, address, website, and you can see here a lot of this was already added from my marketing profile. But if you want to add any new fields, you can come up here to the top right-hand corner, click New Field. You can select what you want that piece of information to be, and then you can fill it in. And then this way, whenever you go in to make a new design, you don't have to write out your entire slogan or bio or whatever it is you want to put on there. It'll automatically just load, and then you can format that font to the size and placement that you want. So it's just going to help simplify adding text, consistent text that you need to have on your pieces of marketing. The next is images. So if there are any images that you're going to use regularly, so here I have a couple different options of my headshot that I've uploaded. But if you have any images that you want to use consistently, go ahead and you can upload those. It just makes it a lot easier when you're going through and making those marketing flyers. The next are elements. So elements, as I understand them, are kind of any secondary or tertiary marketing or branding material. So if you have like a secondary logo or icons that you want to add, you can upload those here. If you have any specific backgrounds or anything else that you want to add to Command that you're going to use throughout your marketing, go ahead and upload those here to elements. The next is videos. So if you have videos that you're going to use regularly, you can go ahead and upload those. I haven't played around with videos because I don't have any video assets, but it's just a great option to know that we're actually able to upload videos that we can use in Command here. And then the last item here are files. So if there's any files or pieces of information that you need to upload, again, you can add it here just to simplify it and get started. So it's that simple. I really recommend that as you getting started in Command, go ahead and spend a couple minutes of uploading this information, because doing this now on the front end, when you're getting ready to set that listing live, or you need to get that open house flyer sent out to all the agents in the office or whoever, everything's going to be there for you. You can just make a couple clicks, and it really will save you a lot of time by having this information uploaded here in the brand assets portion of designs. Any questions about walking through the brand assets portion of designs? I know we went through this pretty quickly.
No, I don't have any questions.
All right. Perfect. So I'm going to exit out of design. So I'm going to click the X in the top right-hand corner. And this is going to take me back to my home screen, my dashboard of Command. The next couple things I want to walk through are tasks, reports, and referrals. Those are going to be some of the more straightforward applets in Command. So when you log into Command, you can see here I have my tasks widget, and for whatever reason it's still loading. But tasks are going to be any items or activities that I need to do. Perfect, now it's loads. Here it's Command's reminding me to put together a CMA for a current address. So I can set a task to let me know, okay, I need to put together that CMA. I need to set up a monthly CMA. I need to follow up with a client, give her a call. I can set tasks by client, or if I come over here, I can click all tasks. I can set up opportunity tasks. An opportunity task is as you move someone through the sales pipeline, there are going to be different activities that you need to do to help foster that relationship and help move them from that prospect down to a closed client. And Command will remind you of all those tasks here. If you click over here, and the third icon down is going to be tasks, and this is where you can create new tasks. So I'm going to click here, and this is going to show me all of my to-do for today. But if I click on this drop down here, I can select, past due, next 7 days, next 30 days. So in this way, I know exactly what I need to be working on every day. So when I time block, I'll set those first couple hours of the day. I know I need to do my lead gen, and then after that, I can come here and say, okay, what are my tasks for today that I need to do? So it's showing me all my past due tasks here. I can click and I can look at my completed ones, archived ones, expired, which I don't have a ton here. But it's just a great way to help manage your workload and what it is that you need to do throughout the process. If you want to create a new task up here, in the top right-hand corner, you can click Create New Task. Give this task a name. So I'll just name this Training 12-3. And I can set, all day. All day tasks will stay on your task list until the end of the business day or until it's marked as completed. I can set a due date. So I'll set this for Saturday. So we can just do tomorrow, Friday. And then I can enter a task description. So give Susan a call to ask about listing photos. Whatever it is you want to do, you can type in that task description there. And then below here, you can add a hyperlink. So if you need to link to another piece of information, you can add that. You do here, now you could go ahead and click Create Task, but what you may want to do is associate a contact with that task. So I need to, if my task description is to give Susan a call, I can come over here, click Associate Contacts, and I can search through my database, and I don't have a Susan in my database. Oh, let me click over here. I can add Tony, so I can click on this icon over here on the right, and I can attach Tony Stark to this task and click Associate Contacts. So now I will have a task reminder, and it will also show up under Tony's contact timeline that there was a task connected to him. So I'll click Create Task. We'll give it a second to load. Command is being very slow this morning. All right, well, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Well, now, but you'll notice it doesn't show up for today because I have show my tasks for today. So if I click show my tasks for the next 7 days, here it'll show up, contact associated, Tony Stark. And if I click on Tony's name, it'll take me into his contact card. Perfect. Here we have Tony Stark. And over here, it lets me know I have a task for Tony. Training 12.3. So I'm gonna click back into tasks. And I've switched back into my individual account. So I do have a team account set up. So disregard all those little notifications at the top. To the right of contact tasks are opportunity tasks. And these are gonna be the same idea, but these are gonna be tasks that are gonna be auto-populated for you based on the different phases and stages of that sales pipeline. So as you move someone from a MET to a cold lead, to a warm lead, to an appointment, there's gonna be different steps or activities that you're gonna have to take in every single one of those phases. And you can go ahead and pre-populate them. So the system will let you know, all right, you just moved, Tony Stark into an appointment. Now you need to create your CMA, pull your seller's property disclosure, pull tax records, let you know all the things that you're gonna need to do to prepare for that appointment. And it automates it all for you. Now it does take some upfront work of you creating that sales pipeline, and that will be in the opportunity training class. But just know that this is all here to help manage your workload so you know exactly what it is that you need to do every single day to move your business along. Any questions about tasks? It's pretty straightforward. All right. The next thing I want to walk through is referrals. So it's going to be the fifth icon down, referrals. Referrals are going to be a great secondary or tertiary income source for you. And I think it's a great idea to start as you think of your 2021 business plans, to start thinking how you could add referrals into your business. So whether that is you referring out business to agents on other parts of the country or building relationships with other agents across the country. So for if anyone that they know that's moving to Atlanta, you can be that referral agent. It's just going to be a great source for you to get some additional income. You can manage that referral process entirely in Command using the referrals dashboard. So here, this is just going to be a quick overview of my referrals. So this is going to show me all of my referral networks. So these are all agents that I've connected with in different parts of the country, either that I met at family reunion or just randomly, or they just, some of them have just randomly added me because I'm in Atlanta. But this is going to be my contacts. Here are my pending invites. So for people that I have invited or have invited me to connect, pending referrals. So if I've sent out any referrals, I'll show here how many I've received and how many I've sent. I'm going to click on my referrals up here in the top left-hand corner. And I don't have any active referrals, but this will just show you a column of any referrals that you sent out and received. So that way you can keep track of them. If you have a new referral up here in the top right-hand corner, you can click new referral. And it's really simple for you to send a referral to somebody. So you can select an agent that you're already connected with, or you can find an agent. So I'll click find agent. And this is going to take me to a map of the United States, and I can just scroll into wherever I want to look into. So let's say I want to look in Chattanooga. So I'm just going to zoom into Chattanooga. Now it's going to show me all the agents in the Chattanooga area. Right now, it's going to sort all these agents by random. But if I come over here to sort, I can select sort by first name, last name, closed units, listings sold, buy sides, leases. So let's say if I have a referral for a cousin that lives in Chattanooga and she wants to sell her home, I may click on listing sold. And now this is going to show me that Jacob Kellerhalls and Cindy Richardson and Wendy Dixon, those are going to be my top agents for listings in Chattanooga. So I would probably want to connect with them, maybe give them a call, interview them. So that is one way that you can find agents here. You can also filter. So if you want to add any, if you want to only look at agents that have closed at least 10 units or sold at least 10 listings in the last year, you can put those filters there to minimize the number of agents that show up. Another thing let me come back here to my referrals. So I'm going to click new referral and go back into this. So you can select your agent here that you want to send the referral to. You can fill in whether it's a buyer, seller, tenant, or landlord. And referral fee, it's going to default to 25%, but that you can change to whatever it is that you negotiate with that agent. So if you've established a relationship with them, you guys may say, okay, we'll refer business to each other and we'll do a 30% referral fee for each piece of business or whatever. You can change that. Just use the sliding scale here. Acceptance deadline. So when you send that referral to an agent, they'll have a certain amount of time that they can review that piece of business and decide if they want to take it on, or if they don't. You can set the deadline. It'll default to 24 hours. You can change it up however many days you want, up to 4 days. So let's say if I'm working here, this is my cousin. She's selling her place in Chattanooga. She's probably going to sell it between 300 and 325. So where the agent kind of knows the amount of work it's going to take, how much they're going to make off this. Notes. Add something here. Cousin looking. Ooh, to sell her home. And then you can fill in the contact information. So you can add your contact directly from your database. So let's just say, I'll just add, let's do Pepper. So this will add all of Pepper's information directly from my command, and I can share this with that agent. So they'll have that contact information so they can reach out to him and say, hey, I received your contact information from Nick at Keller Williams First Atlanta. He said that you're looking to sell. I'd be happy to work with you. And then you can put in some additional information here, and then you'd click send. So it's that easy to send out that referral. And the nice thing is that command will track all of that and then put that into your business goals and your report, so you can track how those affect your goals for the year. I'm gonna click cancel here. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click on maps. And again, I would just kind of quickly walk through how you can search here on the maps for different agents, all the different market centers. You can click here and kind of zoom in to all the different agents that are in production. You can click here on this production. There's a drop-down menu, and you can look at market centers. So if I want to look at market centers in the Chattanooga area, let me zoom out so I can see more. Okay, so I can see there's 2 market centers here in Chattanooga. There's one in Chattanooga proper, and then one over here in a little bit more of the suburb area. So you can also try to pick a market center, and you can always call that market center and say, hi, I'm looking for a top agent that has done at least 20 transactions in the last year, blah, 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 and then they can give a couple recommendations. You can also search by my network. So this will just show all the people that you've already connected with. So I'm going to zoom out so that way you can actually see. So now this is going to show me a map of all the people that I am connected with in the United States. So if I know someone that's moving to Utah, well, it looks like I'm already connected to 4 people in Utah. So I can, pick one of these 4 individuals. The last item here is referral patterns, and this is really interesting. So as you're starting to think about how you can add referrals as a secondary or tertiary income, click on referral patterns, and this will show you where referrals are being sent and where they're coming from. So, all right, why is this? So it's not working, so that's great. Let's see, sent, let's try received. I'm gonna try to refresh this and see if it works. Referral patterns. All right, well, great. So it's unable to retrieve referral patterns. So one of the benefits of live training. But what you can do here is you can look at the referral patterns that are being sent out. So from Atlanta, where are those referrals being sent? Where are people from Atlanta moving? And you can see what cities they are, what cities those are. And then you can call and start to build relationships with agents in those cities. So if you know, let's just say for Dallas, let's say a lot of people are moving from Atlanta to Dallas, you can start to build relationships with a handful of agents in Dallas. So whenever your next door neighbor's like, oh yeah, I'm moving to Dallas, I have the best agent for you in Dallas. Let me connect the two of you because I want to make sure that you are taken care of when you get settled in Dallas. Boom. And there's a 25% referral fee just by you having done some preemptive work of making those relationships. And it also is going to establish you as a trusted partner for that client or that friend. So when they still have friends and family in Atlanta, they're going to think, oh yeah, call Nick because he really made sure I was taken care of and all my real estate transactions went smoothly. To the right here, we have received. So if it were working, it would show you all the cities across the United States that are sending referrals into Atlanta. So where are people moving from that are coming to Atlanta? Again, this will let you know what are these cities that you need to start making relationships with. So you can say, hey, agent in Tucson, Arizona, I know a lot of people are moving from Tucson to Atlanta. I would love to be your go-to referral partner because I'm sure that you have a large database and a lot of people are going to be moving from Tucson to Atlanta. And again, and then you can, go back and forth and you can build those relationships. And that way it's going to be another lead source for you and another income source for you. So it's just a great way that you can start to build your pipeline as you do your business planning for 2021. And then the last tab up here is My Network. And again, this is just going to show you all of the agents that you are already connected to. So you can easily send referrals to them. So you can just click Send Referral and it'll already fill in that agent's information. And you can just put in the rest of the information for that referral. Any questions about referrals?
No, I'm good.
All right. The last item I want to walk through today is reports. So it's going to be the icon over here on the left with the bar chart. So I'll just click on reports. And reports is going to be where you can quickly check out kind of that 10,000 foot view of how your business is going and how you are tracking towards those business goals that you set for yourself. So when you log in here, it's going to be a dashboard overview. And this is going to show our database health. And the reason it's important that we know how healthy our database is because at the core of any real estate business is a database. That is your business. So you want to make sure that you have the strongest and healthiest database possible with all the information that you're able to use to connect with your sphere. So scrolling down here, it's going to let me know my database health by different contact information. So I can see here that only 19% of my database has phone numbers, but 68 have email addresses, 44 have mailing addresses, and you can see all the pieces of information here. So that lets me know that, okay, I need to start building up those pieces of information, which could be a reason to call. So when you're making your quarterly calls and you're making your care calls and say, hey, I just wanted to check in. I realized I don't have your mailing address. Would you mind sharing that? Perfect. Now you have it. And then you can send them a Christmas card, a New Year's card, a birthday card. You also have the ability to compare, which is pretty interesting. So I'm going to click on the compare toggle here. And now I can compare to see how my database health looks like compared to other agents at First Atlanta. So you can see here, compared to agents in my office or in our office, I am really behind in phone numbers. I really need to start getting more phone numbers and making those quarterly calls. And I can see all these different pieces of information, how they compare. Another thing is you can compare to agents in state in Georgia, all agents at KW. And then one thing I think is really interesting is that I'm able to compare it to agents in top production brackets. So what are the top agents at Keller Williams? What do their databases look like? So I can see here, phone numbers and email addresses are the two core pieces of information that they have for their database. So I really need to step it up. I've spent a lot of time getting addresses and birthdays, which are nice, but those agents that are at the top level of production, they're not sending out birthday cards. They're making their phone calls. They're making those care calls. They're making those quarterly touches, checking in with their sphere. So I know I need to come over here and really amp up the number of telephone numbers I have. So it's just a great way to kind of help you set, okay, well, this is what I need to do. This is, if I don't have phone numbers, then I need to maybe reach out over Facebook or do a pop by, or something that I can start to get that information. Scrolling down, we have our database activity, so it'll let you know the people, the percentage of people that you've reached out to in the last 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, and the last 90 plus days. So this will help you as you track all that activity. You can see here what you've done. Then over here on the right-hand side, we have lead sources. So this is going to show you where leads are coming from. So right now I have one lead from Facebook and one from the agent website, which are just dummy leads. But again, this is just really helpful so that way you can see what it is that you need to work on. So as you start also to set your business goals for 2021, you can say, okay, I need to have my database have 50% of my contacts have phone numbers. And then you can start to build out those different activities that you need to do on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis to get that goal. So the next item up here is reports. And this is one of my favorite things for Command is reports, because it is going to show you how your business is running. So how your contacts to buyer opportunities to listing opportunities, and it's going to keep track of all of them for you. And you can see, all right, well, how am I doing in converting leads into appointments, into listings, into closings, and the same for buyers and leases. And all that information is going to be right here for you. Mine kind of looks a little wonky since I mostly just use this for training, but you can kind of see, my contact report for this month. I can look for the last month, year to date. I've added 169 new contacts. I've had 11 buyer opportunities, 16 listing opportunities, so you can kind of track your business that way. You can also export this into Excel, which is great. So if you want to share this with any team members that you want, or if you want to start playing around with numbers in Excel, which I like to do, it's easy to do there. The next item here is goals.
Nick?
Yes.
Can I ask a quick question about the the interactivity with the database? So last week, or was it the week before, I sent out postcards to like 200 people in my database, but I didn't use Command to do it. So how do I record that as a touch?
So you would you would add a note in the contacts, and I can show you that at the end of this.
And I can do a bulk?
You should be able to do a bulk add
Okay.
note. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So goals, this is where it's going to break down your goals. So if you have, once you've gone through and you've talked with Clark and John Mark and you set up, okay, these are my business goals. I want to sell 30 homes. I want to do $400,000 in GCI or whatever it is you want to do. you can put that here into command, and this will break down everything that you need to do. So how many leads you need to then convert them into contacts, into appointments, appointments kept, agreements, contracts, and closed units. So it'll show you exactly what it is that you need to do to hit those numbers. Scrolling down, it'll show your profit tracker to see how you're doing, tracking to hitting that number. It'll break down all of your activities, your conversion rates, your GCI breakdown. All this is here for you. So you do have to put in this information, and I'll walk you through doing that, but I highly recommend that, especially once you set your 2021 goals, go ahead and put them into the system. Some way every day or every couple of days, you can just quickly check on reports and say, okay, how am I going? How am I tracking towards achieving my goals? Up in the top right-hand corner, you'll click on Goals Settings. And this will walk us through a Kelly guide. So again, Kelly guide is going to be something that's just going to hold our hand step by step through filling in the information. So I'll click on Get Started. And then here, you'll notice we have all the information on the left-hand side, and then we'll update the information on the right-hand side. Very similar to any of the other Kelly guides, like setting up your website. So I'll just scroll down. So we're going to set our goals for 2021. It's going to ask what my profit goal is. And profit is going to be my actual profit that I make after I pay all my commission fees to First Atlanta, after I pay my FMLS fees, after I pay my taxes. What do I want left in my bank account? And so I'll just say I want to have $100,000 net in my pocket. Expenses, you can scroll over these little icons and it'll tell you what's included in expenses. So lead generation, marketing expenses, education, occupancy, automobile expenses. How much is it going to cost you to run your business for the year? So I just put here $50,000. These are just made up numbers. And then cost of sales. So how much does it cost to actually run a piece of business? So this again would be splits, transaction coordinators, brokerage fees. So I probably want to update this. And I'll do 25,000. And you can see when I update this number here, it updates my total GCI on the left-hand side in real time. So I can see that if I want to walk away with $100,000 profit, I actually have to have a GCI of 175. Scrolling down, I can set up my business makeup. So how many listings versus buyers versus leases do I do? And that'll help determine my activities for the year. So it's going to default to 50-50, but if you have any idea of kind of based on your past performance, update that here. If you're a newer agent, I would say you're probably going to lean more towards buyers. Every newer agent, we always end up working with buyers first. So you may want to update this to like 75% buyers, 25% listings. And then your average commission per unit. So kind of think of what the average sales price for the part of town that you work in, and then kind of multiply that out by, I would say like 2.85% will be average, knowing that some listings will be 3% commission, some will be 2.5%, maybe 2%. So, and then you can kind of project that out of what your walkaway commission or your GCI for that transaction will be. So I'm going to click next. This is going to be where we can set our conversion rate. So as we start adding leads into our sales funnel, what is the percent of conversion as they move down that sales funnel? So as they move from a lead to a contact to an appointment set to kept, agreements under contract, the system will default with these percentages in here. If you know your conversion rates, go ahead and update them here. I haven't tracked this as thoroughly as this before. So I'm just going to leave them as the default rates. But this is going to help you back out to let you know how many leads you need to generate each year, how many contacts you need to make, and all that information. So I'm going to click Save and Continue. And let's give this a second to save. Come on, command. There we go. Perfect. So now it's going to show us a quick overview of our goals. So we have our profit, our GCI breakdown, our conversion rates, our business makeup of 50-50 buyers and listings. So I'll click what's next. Perfect. So we're done with the Kelly guide. So I'm going to click on view my goals. So I'm here in the reports section in the goals tab. I'm going to select 20. I guess it doesn't have my 2021 goals there yet, but it's going to be the same information here. So that way I can quickly see at a glance from the left-hand side, okay, I need to make over 32,000 leads. I need to add them into my system somehow. So open houses, Facebook leads, cold calling, anything I need here, because I need to have at least 1,600 contacts in my database. So I'm at 87% of my goal for the year. I need to set 80 appointments. I need to keep 60 of those appointments. I need to get 46 buyer or listing agreements. I need to get 34 houses under contract. I need to close 26 units. And that is what's going to help me get to that $175,000 of GCI so that I can then walk away with $100,000 of profit. You also have the ability to compare. So if you want to compare to all agents in the market center, state, top producing, you can do that as well. So you can see how you are tracking versus other agents and where your growth opportunities, where you're really excelling, and you can then adjust your business plan accordingly. But this is really great just to help you keep track of where you are. Some way you don't, if you ever have a meeting with someone, if you're meeting with John Mark and you want to talk through your business, it'll be great for you to come here. You can check out this information. So when you walk into that conversation, you can say, I've had 40 appointments so far this year and my goal is 60. Help me, what can we do what strategies can we set up to help me get those additional 20 appointments? The next item here is lead routing. So if you're on a team, this will help as you route leads to the various team members. So I'm going to skip that. Here is emails. So as a part of Command, you have Command email. And with that, you get up to 5,000 emails for free per month. This is going to show you, based on all of those smart plans and monthly newsletters or monthly neighborhood nurtures, those emails that you send out, how you're tracking towards those 5,000 per month. And it will let you know who the percentages of people that clicked on it, opened it, replied, vice versa. I haven't been able to see breakdown of actual individuals or contacts showing who clicked on it and who didn't. I imagine that would be something that's coming in the future. I haven't sent out a ton of emails, but you'll see here. This way, if you're ever getting close to that 5,000 email limit, you can always upgrade your plan to 10,000, 15, 20,000 emails per month. It does cost money, but it is a pretty small fee. And then the last item up here is texts. So if you are using Twilio as a part of your smart plans, this will show you how many texts you're sending out per month. I have my plan and I get 600 texts per month. So how am I tracking towards sending those out? So again, the report section is a great way that you can jump in and just get those snapshot views of your business, how you're performing, where your opportunities, and how you're tracking towards connecting and touching your database through emails and texts. So that is the TC02 training this morning. What questions do you have? What can I show you again? What can I clarify for you?
I think I'm pretty good. Everything was pretty much straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah, the beginning part of getting used to Command is pretty straightforward. Just kind of learning the system and where things are and how to use it. But I recommend spend some time in here, especially as you're working on your 2021 goals. Click around because this is a great place that you can just double check and make sure that you are tracking towards what you want to accomplish next year.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, if you guys ever have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Let me know, and I will talk to you later. Have a great rest of your morning.
Hey, Nick,
Thank you.
the Twilio report, I have the numbers for October, but for some reason, November is also all zero. I don't know.
I wonder if that is because October, November, they were changing over to the new system. So if there was a hiccup in reporting then.
October, I have numbers. I have a 223 cent or 271. That's all fine, but November is zero, and that.
I would recommend submitting a support ticket for that, because that
Okay.
would be something wrong with the system not reporting that properly.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.